Hey guys, I'm back, and today I'm going to be talking about why you shouldn't be using Regieleki and why you should be using Regidrago instead. First of all, Regieleki has a ton of counters to it, especially regarding this current metagame. First of all, in this current metagame, there are several prominent grass types which will resist Regieleki's stab, making it a lot less powerful than it is. And speaking of which, Regieleki isn't all that powerful. It's mainly just fast. Another thing that's wrong with Regieleki is it basically only gets electric type moves. This makes it easily countered by just one Pokemon having Lightning Rod. So having the Lowland Marowak, and your Regieleki is as good as a Magikarp. Maybe even worse, because at least Magikarp can use Hydro Pump on that Alolan Marowak, and maybe even knock it out. Another thing, too, is that Regieleki is actually outsped by a lot of things. Even with its base 200 speed, that won't change the fact that Bearscuda Swift Swim in Rain will outspeed it and can either use Flip Turn to OHKO it or Drill Run. And not to mention that Grassy Glide in grassy terrain will just outright obliterate a Regieleki. So that's why I'm thinking, hey, why don't we use Regidrago instead? Not only does Regidrago actually get coverage, it actually gets some fairly decent coverage for what it has to do. Now, what it has to do is just kind of countering a lot of the current Pokemon in this metagame. You know, it's not going to outright counter the Tapus. The Tapus are actually going to probably give it a hard time. But with Pokemon like Metagross, for instance, you know, it's not going to enjoy a Max Flare or a Max Crunch very nicely, and it won't be able to hit Regidrago that hard back. And then with the Dragons, especially, the Fossil Fusions, you know, like, sure, they'll be able to get their Bolt Beak or their Vicious Rendoff, you know, faster most of the time, but they'll end up taking a Max Wormwind or a Dragon Energy in return that would do a ton of damage, if not outright OHKO them. And then another thing too about Regidrago versus Regieleki, Regidrago can actually be halfway decent in or out of Trick Room. Regidrago, if holding an Iron Ball or a Room Service, can actually function fairly well as a Trick Room sweeper. Additionally to going back to Regieleki's so-called super fast speed, you know, one scale shot, you know, one set of scale shots from a Regidrago could potentially make Regidrago faster than Regieleki. Just one! So that's why I think during this new series, you should be instead looking towards Regidrago versus Regieleki. Regidrago actually gets coverage, can be good in and out of Trick Room, and isn't one-shotted so easily. So I hope this helps you out, and until then, see ya later!